Right, Bev, ready to go live?
Yeah, ready. I think.
Perfect. Sure?
Yeah.
That'll do.
Go for it.
Hey, good evening.
It's Friday.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Devs.
Stay tuned.
It's Codes of the Unknown.
Ooh. No, forgot that bit then. Oh, give me 1 minute.
All right. What are you looking for?
Is Nathan allowed out of his box this week?
I don't know. Maybe you should go look for him.
Right, I'll be back straight after this.
Yes.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello.
Hey.
Just thought we'd confuse everyone with the new intro. Hope you all liked it. I don't even think anyone noticed. So,
probably not.
No, Deborah's not with us tonight. She's over in Bermuda. So we have Nathan.
How we doing, guys?
Do you want to take over? Do you want to say anything before we go on?
No, hit it.
Cool. So, evening everyone, thanks for joining us. So, might be a bit boring, this bit. We're going to be showing you the equipment that we use when we go out investigating. But before I do that, I have confirmed that we have a guest coming back on early to mid-June. The one and only Lon Strickler. Actually spoke with him today and he's up for it, so it's all good. So he's going to be coming back on with some updates. I actually listened to a podcast today. He wasn't on it, but there's a story on there from what someone's put on Phantoms and Monsters on the radio show that he does, and they're waiting to hear some stuff back from them. So I was going to ask him about this, and hopefully he'll have all the updates about what's gone on and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, we've got Lon coming back on soon. So let's get into it. So this is about the equipment that we use when we're out investigating. So we'll start off with
what are we starting with?
This. So this built myself is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is made up of 5 pieces. So it's got the 2 square LEDs. I always get stuff that's got rechargeable batteries in it. So, sorry, you can adjust them. It's got the flip up phone holder, which is adjustable, slides up and down, and then put the battery pack in there, link it to the phone. The thing is, it's got the rubber feet on it as well. You can pretty much put it down anywhere. You can't see because of the camera angle, but you can put it down anywhere. It's easy to carry it from the bottom. You can put tripods on it. There's loads of different sequences that you can have with this. Yeah, if only. Just plan to Cali. And then there's that part. So now and again, that will slide into there and fix on. So it'll look something like that. Just so you've got extra for the lights. So you can put the lights at the top of it. This is going to be thicker than I thought.
It was definitely an improvement on the last one that we were using.
Yeah. So that's that one. So then we've got 3 of these. They're not all the same as this, but this is a power pack. So you can do 3 USB it's also wireless. So if I put my phone on there, it starts charging straight away. So I've got that and 2 other normal ones that aren't wireless. Then torches, 3 of these. They're not big, but it does zoom in and out. So it's got a clip on it. It's magnetic at the end as well. So you can put 2 together and have a lightsaber. So trust me to pick one up, but the battery's gone. Let me try another one. Not charging since last year. Right, so you got light, dim, flashing. It's even got a black light on it, which is pretty good. And then got these side lights. That's it. That's it on that one. So we've got 3 of those. 2-way radios. These are the ones when me and Nathan, when we went to Delapre Abbey,
They were the ones picking up.
I was picking up. Nathan was stood next to me, and all you could hear on it was saying, "Get out, get out."
That was quite freaky. That.
Yeah, and that was the time when something unclipped my watch, and I've shown you the other week how difficult it is to unclip it. Then, now here's a bondage, Kelly. No, so that's the body harness for the GoPro to fix onto. I can't do it now, and I can't be bothered. So that'll clip onto there. You can alter it up and down. There's a bit at the bottom, just underneath my finger. Sorry, that's the bottom. Where I just use 2 cable ties to tie another battery pack onto it. So that's constantly on charge as well. Oh, next. Now this one is going to be good for when we do the house investigations.
Looking forward to that. It's going to be fun.
Let me just turn this light out 1 second, then you guys can see. So this is basically what it does. 1 second. Echo. Turn off lamp.
Okay.
Right, so you can make a grid formation.
Here's what I found.
Echo.
According to
Shut down. Yeah. And then you can unscrew that. I'm going to use it as a laser pointer. And that's it. So
They've proved really handy with those laser pointers.
this is 2.5 kilometer range. Laser pointer. Echo. Turn on lamp.
Okay.
Thank you. Showing you last week, I've got my IR filter, which will be attached.
I'm not sure.
So that's a night vision camera. That's
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Echo shut down. Sorry, that's magnetic, so you can stick it up the wall. That's got the IR filter in. So using a night vision camera and IR, you pick up orbs, or the best way for picking up orbs. Got a couple spare rechargeable batteries for the torches, and then this is the one thing that out of everything, I hate using it the most. It's just so annoying. Head torch. So it has 5 settings. Also rechargeable. So this obviously it tilts down. I'm not putting it on because and it just rechargeable battery pack. Like I said, there's 3 or 4 settings. So you can have them both on at the same time. Just depends how you want it. So there's like something like 17 combinations. And that's it. The good thing about that is the battery on it. I've had it. I got it in January last year, and I've charged it once. So it is good. It's probably the best battery on anything. Oh, and the ultimate tool, the gimbal. Now this is the best one. This was gifted. So I'll just show you. So the phone clicks on. You hold that like that. Press it. And then it rightens itself. So even though it's hard to see, even though I'm turning it, you can see that the camera's not moving. So if I turn it that way, so if you watch that bit, so see how I'm turning it, but the phone isn't moving, and then up and down and round, and yeah, so it does everything. As a tripod, but when you close it, you can stab it into the ground as well if it's soft ground. Yeah, so you got all the settings, zoom, phone, turn it round, all that kind of stuff, and then you turn it off, and it moves your phone round. That's it.
We were talking about maybe picking up a 360 camera as well.
Yes.
Right. That should be really helpful, especially for when we get those noises behind us.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, I was just going to say with this as well, is when that comes out. Sorry, one sec. That bit, show you. That sticks on, so I can put the night vision camera on the back of that and use that with the camera at the same time. It's just going to take me about 3 weeks to charge everything up. I use earbuds rather than headphones because all the wires that you have and everything just get in the way. That's pretty much Echo or thingy buds, and that's it. Because that way I can hear what Deb or whoever else is in the chat, what they're saying. But when you have ANC switched off, you can hear everything that's going on around you as well. And then about 300 of these. Dave?
Yep.
That's the most important thing. Charging cables.
Endless amounts
Without
of
them, you ain't getting anything. So I always carry spare ones, and didn't ever think I'd have to, but there's been twice where I've gone to use something and the cable stopped working for whatever reason. And then these are just the bits for the GoPro, like waterproof and different clamps and all that kind of stuff. They come with it. But that is pretty much it. So I've shown you the radios. I said 3 torches, 3 them LED lights. Yeah, so that's everything we use. Don't use it all at the same time, but there is something else to use. I've not had to use it yet, but so when the weather's crap, yeah, you need something. So I bought. Ta-da. No, it's not a dwarf umbrella. It's a parasol off a baby's pram. Right? There's 12 quid in Argos, but it's thermal on the inside. It's waterproof. Yeah. So it keeps the cold or the heat in or out, depending. So that the bottom bit clamps onto part of that or the gimbal, and then you open it up. So if it's raining, because you're going to be there holding an umbrella if we're out in the field, or as last year, Richard was my umbrella man at one point because I couldn't hold everything and hold the umbrella to stop the equipment getting wet. I'm not bothered about me, but if the equipment gets wet, you're going to know about it.
still think we need to get you one of those little hat umbrellas like Bill
I'm
Murray.
gonna get a big,
Like,
what the
yeah.
American police wear, the see-through body mat things. Get one of them. Yeah. So all that, including the gimbal, the radios, that probably costs about $350. So, and the thing that you need to replace the most are the wires. But don't ever get anything where you've got to put batteries in it. Just get rechargeable, because you will spend an absolute fortune just on batteries.
Always more batteries.
If I had batteries for these, I'd be spending 20 quid a week easily.
Also helps when we go to those places and for some reason the battery's just dead.
Yeah.
Like you got at least you can just replace it. It's
fine.
weird how that happens though.
3 of these, always 3 of them. A backpack, over the shoulder bag, waterproof trousers, comfy shoes, pretty much comfy and clothes that are going to dry.
Good hiking boots always help.
So I've got wellies and like rubber boots, but they've got some felt on the inside, and then the waterproof just above the ankle, but they're really comfy. So yeah, and the best thing to do is buy a pack of hair bubbles for tying all your wires up. It was £1 for 150 air bubbles from Primark. Yeah, and every set of wire that I've got is tied up there. If you snap, it doesn't matter. Plastic bands get stuck, especially if it's material on the like beaded material. It gets stuck in it. So, but that's pretty much it. So our first investigation, as you all probably know anyway, is on the 1st of April at C.O.T.U Cemetery. That's me, Nathan, hopefully Richard. Is Daryl coming?
Think so.
So
Should be.
those that don't know, Daryl is Nathan's other half, so she comes out with us as well. And that's it so far. And then the week after that, we're going to be doing our very first haunted house. But there's one but with that. Sorry, I just reading the comment. Ellie's got up. I said don't tell anyone. Yeah, so the haunted house, that's going to be a later time. That's going to be at 10 o'clock. Well, that's going to be 10 till midnight. The person whose house it is isn't available till about 9:30. So we're not going to be able to get there till like 10 o'clock. I'm going to do an interview with her this week. So that'll go on at the start of the stream while we get everything set up, because we're going to be rushing around. So that's it. I don't think we've got anything else. Don't need anything else. Oh, and an EMF reader.
Yeah.
Which I need to get a new one, and I'm going to be buying that. What date are we on now? 11. I'll be buying that in 2 weeks. So that's it. But the thing is, I don't take all this out in one go. It depends where we're going. If we're going in the field and that, I'll take the head torch and the umbrella and what have you. If we're going into the woods, it would just be the gimbal and maybe that.
It's that
Obviously,
sometimes like less is more. Like sometimes when you've got too much on you, it just hinders.
It's carrying loads, but then
Mhm.
you've got to remember the electric field that all this stuff gives out. So if that's giving out all this energy, if there is anything about it, it's not going to come anywhere near. It's like, nah, staying away. So yeah, it just depends where we go and what the weather's like. Depends on what we take. But if you've got everything, then you can swap it all about. You don't have to take it. You know you've got it there ready. Yeah, so that's it. So if anyone's any questions, can you put them in capitals? Anything you anything to ask?
No, I think we're good.
Nuke is asked, what flashlights? I don't know what you mean.
I mean, what type of flashlights are we
What-
using?
I can put the link up in the description later. They are off Amazon. I think at the time when I bought them, there was 2 for £12. But they hope I did a 4-hour investigation once, and I used one torch for the first 3 hours, and then the second one for the last hour. So that's how long they last. Yeah, so I'm just reading what I Love Films has wrote. The laser pointer with the thing at the back. Yeah, it's good for picking up movement and that. This was, I think it's 11 quid. I think this one was eBay, but same again, rechargeable. I used to buy them, and I'd be buying batteries 2-3 times a week. Do I have shares in the head torch company? No, unfortunately not. But I don't think I don't even like wearing that one. Right. Cheers. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, and that's it. Just make sure everything's charged before you go. It has happened where we've got somewhere, we've turned it on, and like there's been 5-6 different things turned on, not just mine. When Matt was with us, even Richard, because Richard's in, he's come up and he put his and it just drained straight away. All the power went. It was literally there 2 minutes. So for my stuff, for Matt's and Richard's stuff, to drain straight away, there must have been something going on that we couldn't see. So that's it. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on the messages. So anyone else any questions about that? I know it was a bit boring, but people have asked in the past what equipment do we use, and I just never got around to doing anything like this. Then yeah, like I say, you always have spares. That's why I've got 3 power packs. What fascinates? Right, there we go. Right, so can we move on from the equipment now, because it's boring. It's just people wanting to know, so I said I'd show them. So that was it. It's what you need. You do need stuff to when you go. You could go out with just your phone or whatever, but you do need other stuff. Let you go first, Nate.
Okay, so what fascinates you both most, UFOs, cryptids, or afterlife?
Elf. Alien life form.
Alien life form.
Yeah.
I'm starting to think more nowadays it's all one, so I can't really distinguish between what particular thing like draws me in. At the moment, as we'll talk about later, UFOs has really got me hooked, especially on the ancient side.
Yeah.
I think there's a big connection there that we're missing and what a lot of people are not seeing. But like, yeah, that's got me really hooked.
Yeah. See, mine's flying cryptids, as you probably all know anyway. Like Mothman and Owlman, pterodactyls. It's not so much. I might just mean stuff that's got wings, but anything that can like levitate. It's just the fact that there's something human size that can move off the ground. Yeah. To say it was like a humanoid that was like levitating or whatever, it's just absolutely fascinating.
Do you think that's linked to your own experience?
Which one?
One we were talking about last week.
Go on.
Where you were just hovering.
Oh, on the bridge.
Yeah. Do you think that's what sparked more
You know
interest
what?
in you?
To be honest, when after that happened, I forgot about that for, I said, what is that? I was 15, 16.
Mm.
I'm now a little bit older than that. So I probably forgot about that for about 25 years.
Do you find though, like the more things that happen to you, the more that you tend to forget because it comes more of a normal?
Yeah. I think I did an interview a bit ago, and it was like everything used to scare me.
Yeah.
I used to be like proper like freaking out all the time. But I think I just got to the point where it was happening that much. It was more normal than normal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've just got to the point now where if you see something, I see it. I get excited. I'm like, oh, like really like buzzing about it, but not like I thought I would.
Yeah.
I'm not like just completely overwhelmed with it. It's like, oh, I've just seen something. Yes, I've seen it, and that's it. That's as exciting as I get about it.
See, I get what you mean there, because it used to, when it first started happening, it used to be that big level of fear.
Yeah,
And then, like, it's almost like you're forced to accept it. And then once you start accepting it and you start exploring more, you start seeing more and understanding a bit more, and it just becomes a bit more normal.
yeah. It's like this. I know I'll keep going on about it. It's probably boring people, but when I lived in that house in Milton Keynes, it got to the point where I was like, please, can you just stop for a couple of days and give me a break? It was that constant. I'd be watching TV and there'd be shadows walking in front of it, or going around and going upstairs. It's like I ended up swearing at them once, and then nothing happened for about 2 weeks. Thought, well, that worked.
Well, you know, you always say voice it outwards, like never in your head, voice it outwards. So, like, if you remember, we were talking about some of the things that were going on.
Yeah, you've got to say
Like,
it out loud.
yeah, when we were talking about some of the stuff that was going on around me, we were talking about it last week. I had a conversation with one of the guys on the chat who was interested, and I don't know whether it's because I was voicing these things out, but ever since then, since last week, a lot of stuff has started to calm down and not been so hectic, which has been quite
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, no. Sorry, I just got another quick question from Blue Shift. What's the best footage I've captured on film? Right, so Joe's kind of already answered it, which was Benchman, the guy with the glowing face who looked like, basically, he looked like the devil. Didn't when I was talking to him, but when we look back on the footage, he did. And then the last time we was at St. John's the Baptist Church Ruins, I was filming, so I was actually using this one, these lights, and you can clearly see his shadow walk in front. Now, it wasn't any of our shadows, because our shadows were stopping in the light. This was the actual shadow of a person. You could clearly see because it didn't. It was solid. It didn't fade until it was going out of like off camera. That is actually on the Facebook. No, it's not. It's on YouTube. On one of the charts, and you can. I didn't see it. It's someone, one of the group members on Facebook pointed it out. So I found it. Oh, I downloaded it off Facebook because he got that bit, and then I just got that clip and did a screen recording of it, and just kept watching it over and over and over. So I couldn't see it on my phone at first, and then I put it on the computer. I could see it, and it just walks across and just fades away. But you can see it's not our shadows because the light, these lights, I'm holding this in front of me. So my shadow couldn't have gone in front because there was no light behind me. Plus, I was stood still and it was moving from my right to left. And the other two people that were with me, they was both stood behind me and they weren't moving. And you can see it. Watch the video. It's on there. So that is either the shadow or bench guy. I've not really got pick much up on film. A lot of the time when stuff's happened, I've just been doing my own thing and not had the camera or anything on me. So even at Tulsa Road Cemetery, when we seen them orbs and that black mass, even the black mass at Delapre, that was on all fours. Camera didn't pick any of that up. So no worries, Blake.
Hopefully, we'll get something in this haunted house.
Yeah, definitely.
I have enough set up.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I just want going to get a couple more than night vision
Mm.
cameras. I think they're about 15 quid now.
It doesn't help that a lot of stuff tends to go on outside your peripheral, so it's always like the sound you'll hear. Hence why we were talking about the 360 cams. It's always just here, just
But
there.
I think that is because this is your eye frequency. Imagine this is like the radio on an old dial radio. That's a dial from 87 to 107, then it stops. And then the next frequency, you can see where they're just coming into the dimension. So when you turn full on, you're back to say 99 or whatever megahertz, whatever it is. So you can't see it. And that's when you turn again and you can just see it there because it's in that different frequency range. And that's why you can't see it. So it's just popping in through the veil. But yeah, so that's what I think anyway. So, right, I'll let you answer this one. You go
So what got me interested in the unknown? Like, brutally honest, probably fear and a wanting to understand. That was the first things. When stuff's going on around you and you've got that first bit of fear going on, you want to know more. And then once you start learning more, like, and you can't explain it,
Yeah.
like, then it continues to happen. It goes into what we were just saying a minute ago. It becomes more of a normal. So then, like, you can try to, like, your logic side starts to take over. And then you sort of pick up that interest.
Yeah.
It's like a tumbling snowball.
Yeah. I like the fact that you can't explain it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that gives it that edge. Because if it was something you could explain, it'd be like, oh, it's just blah blah blah. It's everyday life. I know this kind of is anyway, but it's hard to explain. It's like you've never seen a car before, yeah? You see a car driving down the road, someone explains to you what it is. After you've seen it a few times, you don't get excited anymore. It doesn't interest you. I think that's the easy way to explain it. But even though I kept seeing these shadow people, or keep seeing UFOs, or hearing whistling, or people shouting my name, or that's only happened a couple of times. But one of the houses that we used to live in Manchester, I was telling you, was it you were telling me before? Yeah. The taps kept turning. We'd go out, come back, the taps would be on in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't like the handle ones, it was a proper, you got to really turn it. You'd be sat in the front room, you heard the taps turning on. And it's like, there's no reason for that to be happening.
It still always creeps me out when you hear your name being shouted.
Yeah,
Like
that's only ever happened twice, and I hate it both times.
I
Really
don't know if you're hearing things in your head or if it's actually something around you, and it's like, what is going on?
But the thing is, when it's happened, I've not recognised the voice. It wasn't like, oh, that was Barry, or oh, that was Dave, or John, or it was my mum, or you know what I mean? I heard the voice. It's like no idea who that was. No recognition of the voice. So, yeah, mine was, so I grew up on an estate in Manchester. There's only like 10 houses in the street I grew up in. And brother's a couple of years older than me. Then there's another lad who lived a couple of doors down. Now he had a couple of older brothers still. So they's probably about 8-10 years older than me in total. And they was into It was Unexplained Mysteries magazine where you collect one each month for each week and you put it in the binder. And it was like the White Lady, the monk, the Headless Horseman. I can't remember, but it was the ones that were popular in like the 70s and 80s. And then I used to watch Arthur C. Clarke's, is it Modern Mysteries or something? I can't remember. It was so long ago. And I've just been fascinated with it so much because it's not supposed to happen and no one knows why it was happening. I've just always been intrigued by it, fascinated.
It's just that curiosity, isn't it?
It's like I was only like 5 or 6 and we were telling ghost stories.
Mm-hmm.
We were scaring each other, but we was getting that scared we was laughing.
Mm-hmm.
It was scary but not scary, you know what I mean?
I found it weird, like the stuff that happened when I was really young wasn't scary. It wasn't until like I don't know, I'd even say like mainstream media films, stuff like that, start depicting like horror to you, then you start getting that sense of fear coming in. But like when I was younger, I got like seeing all those orbs, especially the one that come into like flew into my face.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But it's like I used to watch House of Horror.
mm.
And I'm like 4, 5, whatever. And I loved it. Dracula and the werewolves and ghosts and poltergeist and everything else that was going on. Couldn't beat it. It was my favourite programme. And I should be liking stuff like that. Should be liking stuff.
I'm petrified by horror films. Daryl's the one with balls, not me.
Yeah, Tales of the Unexplained. Is it Tales of the Unexplained?
Mm.
Tales of the Unexpected. Used to watch everything like that. I just couldn't get enough of it. So it's just I've always been into it from preschool, pre-nursery. Right, so I'm just gonna. Right, you'll get more. Yeah, so previous quote, you will get more in any. Oh, why is it not showing? There we go. You'll get more in a haunted place if you're there between 2 and 3. Well, that's one thing that I'm trying to plan is doing a stay over. Not so much
See,
a
there's
lot.
definitely something with that 3 o'clock in the morning as well.
Yeah.
What keeps on happening? Like always getting woke up 6 minutes past 3.
Yeah. Well, I slept through this morning yesterday. I slept right through all week. Yesterday morning, I woke up 3:07. I don't know. I just made myself go straight back to sleep. I just couldn't do it. It was awful. Just knowing what that time was and what it meant. Right. Next question. Sorry. So, nickname. Any subject or incident you would like solved if you could choose one in life? Oh, that's a good question.
That's hard.
I'd love to know these two. What vampires are, and if they are a real thing, or what dogmen are. Whether they're genetically hybrids, and I said genetically modified. I knew what I meant. Are they hybrids? Are they natural? Are they from another world, dimension, whatever? Why are they here? What they're doing here? What do they want? Where are they from? Yeah. Dave, yours?
I don't know. It's there's just too much. I'd like to find out what's going on that ranch. Yeah. I'd like to find out what phenomenon's being caused there, what's causing them.
I just think that's a massive energy portal, wormhole, just everything that's going on there. It's just a massive.
I find it so intriguing the fact that even was it the American Congress pumped £22 million through private funding to do research there. They wouldn't do that for no reason.
Didn't NASA close it off for a bit?
I don't think it was NASA. I think it was private companies.
Was it? I
Yeah.
thought it was related to something to do with NASA, but I'm no.
Mm.
So yeah, it's right. I'm sorry I keep going slow. I've just got to read the messages because we're not used to Deb not being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, some subjects or incidents I don't want to know because
Yeah.
I think it spoils what we do because we're here wanting to know. But if you all think about it, if we find out everything of what's going on and we get proof that this is this and that is that, what's left for us to do? Nothing.
It's the finding out. That's the fun part, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the chasing. Yeah, that was it. AATIP. I remember watching, reading, listening to the podcast. There's one I listened to a couple of weeks ago, and they were saying about who went into Skinwalker. But I think there's one more fascinating than Skinwalker.
What's
It's
that?
called Stardust. The Stardust Ranch.
I've not heard of that.
Oh my God. Just, there's one book written on it. Yeah. There's a podcast that I listen to called The Belief Hole, and they did one last month on this Stardust Ranch,
Yeah.
and it's mind blowing. Just how it starts off so simple to what it becomes. It's just goes from 0 to 1,000 in like one. It's mind blowing. It's amazing though. And Bob Bigelow wanted to buy this Stardust Ranch. It's not far. It's in Phoenix, in Arizona.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact spot, but there's loads of stuff that went on and other stuff stuff going on now. But it was done in, I think it started around 2014, 15. I might be wrong on the year, but Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventurers, they've done 2 episodes out there.
Yeah.
That was from 2016.
So I've just seen something in the comments, and I'm pretty sure I know who's put that, and he is pretty reliable. So he's put Nath. Just the way he spent Nath, I know it's my mate John.
Yeah.
Still think it's extra dimensional entities that is causing Skinwalker Ranch. Also, Bigelow Aerospace brought it out originally and was contracted out by US government, which is pretty much what I thought along the lines of. Cheers, John.
If you want to read something like that, Nate, just put it on the screen. Yeah.
I have no idea how to.
Click on it.
Just click on it.
Oh, you might not be able to do it. Can you hover over and click?
I'll have a go.
Hover over it, say show, and then click on it.
Hover over it. No.
Oh, right. I'll sort that out for next time. Joe's put a link up, but she's not telling us what it's for. So, cheers for that, Joe.
That's it. Yeah, that's John. Cheers, John.
Yeah. So, sorry, going back to these. So, the Pentrich, I can never pronounce it, incident wants to know what or who are the shadow people. So,
shadow people, one of my first experiences.
And I've had one walk right in front of me across there. Like if I could have put my hand on my shoulder and done that, I'd have touched it. But I didn't want to touch it because I didn't want to know where my hand was going to go. That makes sense. Because I could have just put my hand out and it had gone through it. I could have put my hand in, pat my hand because it disappeared. I don't know what it was or anything. It was about 4.5, 5 foot tall. And just walked diagonally from the bedroom to the toilet. And I was stood at the door, like the box room behind me, and it was literally, it wasn't even a foot away from me. And I think there's different types of shadow people, because you get the ones that are full black mass, and then you got the ones that are transparent. So when I'd be watching TV, I'd see him like peripheral vision there, and then they'd like run across the TV quick. But if I turned and looked as they started to run, I'd be able to follow them across the room. And it'd be like, I'd say 5 foot at the most, and it just looked human shaped.
See, my one was different. Mine was the pitch black one, and it was almost as its feet were on the corner of the wall, and its
Yeah.
head went right up to the top of the ceiling, and the shadow actually went just onto the ceiling, and that walked from one side of the wall to the other, like it come in from the wall and left by the other wall,
Right.
and just
I've
did
got
not
mine.
care that I was there.
Mine just, the ones I've seen just appear. It's like the one that came from the bedroom door, and as it got to the bathroom door, it's probably 4 steps in total, but it's moving really slow. I honestly thought it was hallucinating. I thought I was losing it.
Yeah.
But the other people in the house, 2 of the others seen it as well. And as it got to the bathroom door, it just, nothing. It's just no noise coming from it. Didn't get a gust of wind, nothing like that. It's like a shadow, a person's shadow, but upright, not on the floor, just running or walking in front of you. But then you get like the Hat Man or the Grinning Man, which Alison has said that, I think it was Alison, that her daughter had seen the Grinning Man. You usually see it when you're like in the middle of, as you're falling off to sleep. What's it called? Begins with L. Don't know.
What's gone on in the chat there?
What's that?
Just seeing on my screen, it's just suddenly gone fuzzy.
No. Yeah, it's sleep paralysis involves like the Hat Man and the Grinning Man and all that. Sometimes he's seen. I've heard it where he's been seen with a gun or a knife. But apparently, if you see the Hat Man, it's supposed to be like, well, it's supposed to be bad luck, and something bad's supposed to happen to someone, you know, a bit like the when you see the old hag, there's supposed to be a death coming up with someone, you know. But don't really want to see any of them.
No.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm just trying to keep up with all this. Yeah, so to me, that's what shadow people are, because they're the only ones that I've seen. But then we've seen the black mass of that 4-legged thing at Delapre.
Yeah, that was weird.
But that was solid. So like the back of my phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
and how that went from,
it was as black as that.
And how it went from the left to the right, and that was what, a good like
10
6
foot,
feet a gap. Yeah, just straight vertical through the air into the tree and off.
It was solid as it went across, and it moved. It wasn't fluid. It was like you could see it was walking like that, and you could tell it was 4 legs. So, there we go. I've been saying it wrong for ages. Penter is pronounced Penter. Thank you for that, because no one's ever told me that before. Appreciate it.
I can't highlight that one, but I know this one is
right.
One of my friends who live in the Netherlands, and he said, Stilster and Andy, have you had any experiences when you were younger? Which we spoke about last week, didn't we? So yeah, lots of experiences. It's a few comments up. It is by Penguin Fun Life.
Oh right, I've seen him. He just said hello, but that was it.
There's one just come through from him.
No, I've only got hello. Why? Oh, we're still not getting the foot. Sorry, guys, but there's a load of messages that aren't coming through. So I've never had sleep paralysis. I have, but I've controlled it. So I'd like fall asleep and wake myself up and then not be able to move my body. But I don't think that's the same. Sorry, did we have any experience when we was younger? Oh, right. Sorry, can I just answer one more question before that? So Nickname has asked me about the thoughts on the Gimbal film. Yeah, sorry, Joe. I think Gimbal. Is that the Michigan Dog Man?
I'm not
Is
sure.
it? Yeah. So it's a Mitch. Now the thing is with that, there's like 4 or 5 different stories. One is that they got 2 athletes, gymnastics, to wear a costume, and that's how they did the movement. Because the fluid movement, yeah, it's a Michigan Dog Man. And then they used a cine film to record it to make it look more authentic. But then there's others saying that it was all legit and it did happen, and it's true, and it's a real thing. Now, the only people that really know the truth about that is those that were there, those that filmed it. So they know whether they faked it or it is legit. I'd like it to be real because it is a really good film, and I think it goes on for about 7 minutes. But it's this proper big, wide, stocky. It looks like a bear wolf, if anything. Its shoulders on it are like 6 foot wide, easily. So if they've got 2 people in that costume doing that, no idea how they've done it. So yeah, I don't know. I like it to be real, but I'm not 100%. Next one. So ancient readers said that the Skinwalker Ranch is a test ranch for portal experiment using innocent people. That wouldn't surprise me.
No, it wouldn't.
Because they don't really care on what happens and where we go and things like that.
I think when it comes to governments discovering technologies, they don't care unless they get it first, and that's why a lot of it hasn't happened yet.
It's like today. Well, pretty much all this week I've been in Rendlesham, but I diverted today, as I told you. I actually drove as central to Rendlesham Forest as I could. Don't tell anyone. And it's like there's so many unmarked buildings that are built through Rendlesham, and there's one part where you've got Woodbridge MOD, and they've got buildings that go out for miles away from where the main entrance to the military base is. So it's just weird. It's like places like that. Why would you have a military base right in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a forest, where there's a lot of activity in that forest? I do believe that the government, when they find a portal or some sort of entrance to another dimension, they build a government building on it.
Of course I do.
As soon as they build that government building, no access to the Joe public. Government staff only, authorised personnel. That's it. You can't do anything.
No.
So that's why all these places? Why some like in towns, like right next to cities, and some 20, 30 miles middle of nowhere? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't really add up to me. Might be wrong, but I don't think I am, to be honest. It's just Rendlesham is so big, and where they've got that military, it's the same as Laken. Is it Laken House near Thetford, near Milden Hall? Lakenhurst.
Oh yeah.
That's just like right in the middle of the forest as well. That doesn't make sense either. Strange places to build them. Right, one more question, and then we're going to have a quick break. So I'll let you answer this one, Dave. Do you think some could be thought from manifestation tuplers?
What, as in we think of it and eventually manifest something ourselves and project it out there into the universe?
Yeah, like Slender Man.
I think I don't know if it's a yes or no. Like, if I don't think of a yes or no. I think it could be possible if it was a collective group thinking the same. I think it would be.
Yeah.
If it was true, it'd be too big of a thing to do by yourself. I think it would be more of a collective thing.
Yeah. I think if there's a few, yeah. So I was just reading this paragraph.
That's right. I just had something move behind me.
If there's a few of you thinking it, then yeah, it's like when you do, like I've done a seance where there's 3 or 4 of you, you've got a finger on the glass. And I think the energy from all of us was making it move.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've only ever done it once, so I couldn't say. I suppose if I did it another couple of times and see what the result is and then compare it to all the others.
Well, I definitely believe manifestation is a real thing. Whether it be like a paranormal or unknown thing, or just day to day, like with your own life.
Yeah, but think of it this way though. If you're thinking of something and you're constantly thinking of it, then surely somewhere it's going to appear.
Well, that's the whole, say when we're talking about parallel universes, I make a decision to switch chairs now. In a different one, I've made not to do that decision.
Yeah.
So, say you're thinking of something eventually to manifest, it doesn't happen in this universe. Does that mean it happens in the other universe?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but then how many parallel universes or dimensions are there? Is there one? Is there a million?
I don't know. If there's some stuff that I've been looking at for a little while, and like, have you noticed the big connection with the number 33?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if it's not so much as an infinite, but just a small number.
Could be. Don't know. Yeah, I've had lots of 33s and 11s this week. Loads of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was very odd. It was on more so on Wednesday. It was just constant. Everywhere I looked was either 33 or 11. And then the next morning I wake up at 3:07. And I've just got all that together now, and I'm not impressed. Sleeping tablet tonight, I think.
Whatever it is, I just want to have a good night's sleep, just for once.
Yeah. Right, we have got a couple more questions, but we are going to have that's an hour gone already.
So should we have a break and then come back a couple of questions and then we'll move on?
Yeah. So guys, we're going to have a break now. We'll do some more questions. If you've got anything else, please put them in capitals and please hit the like button. And then
don't forget to subscribe. It helps. It really does.
It really does. And then Nathan's got a couple of things that he wants to talk about. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. See you in 2. Hello. Nathan's not back yet. He's not made it. So, sorry, I'm just going to quickly go through it. Oh, he's here now. That was good timing. So I was just going to catch up on the chat during the break. Right. I'm going to go to you for this one, Nathan, because I haven't heard of this guy before.
Okay.
Don't know if you have. Thoughts on the Chris Bledsoe story?
I think I have. Let me have a look. Give me a... Chris Bledsoe.
Yeah.
Key witness. No, I've not heard this before.
No,
You'll have to give us a bit of context there, nickname.
Sorry?
Give us a little bit of context to it, nickname.
Me?
I've not heard of this before. No.
Oh,
Nickname.
Yeah. You give a bit of a one-line background to it. No, I've
Just
never heard of it.
No, I'm just having a look now for it.
Just guessing.
UFOs over. The UFOs?
The Nick is but he has lots of experiences and can heal.
Okay. So what? Is some sort of healer?
Must be. But can he heal from having the experiences, or can he heal as well as having these encounters? NASA and CIA.
So
I've not got my laptop open, so I can't do anything.
I'm just having a look now. REM healing.
And angels. So I'm just going to check to see if I've missed anything.
Okay. I'm just having a look at this. There doesn't seem to be too much popping up. NASA, CIA.
Joe, can you do me a favour, please? These two links that you've just sent me, can you send them to me on Messenger, please? And I can add them to the description. And then I can have a look as well over the weekend.
Yeah, maybe something good to have a look over the weekend and then we'll come back onto it. See what we find.
Yeah, we can always come back onto this and we'll have an update. What are we on now? 11th?
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3 weeks. 3 weeks on Wednesday. We'll do an update on it because we can do it on the decode.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll plan it in for that.
Bledsoe. Thank you, Joe. Right, it says Bledsoe's on Facebook. Right, yeah, so we can do that on the 6th of April. Just give me a minute. What was he called? Chris Bledsoe.
Film UFOs, honestly, it's great you are because it will enlighten us all. All I can say is that I've experienced sleep paralysis so many times, but never sleep paralysis is horrible.
No, I used to do it when I was younger. But cheers, Joe.
Yeah, I'll check that out. That sounds good.
Yeah. Ancient rabies difficult. Most people that have had ED experience can heal after interactions with them if it's been a good one. Yeah. So, nickname, just remind us on when we do Kingsford Cemetery on the 4th, that just in case it gets wiped off my board, that we're doing the update on this for the 6th. or Joe, or all of you, or nobody? It's up to you.
So I've got my little familiar trying to join in with us.
Right.
Jasper decides he wants to be famous.
Not so little.
No.
I have to shut the cat out.
Oh, he's all right. He's a bit of a beast.
Well, oh, right. If we don't have any more questions, then Nathan's gonna do his ancient alien studies. And then you got any questions, we can answer them as we go through it.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so
Cheers, nickname.
there's been a few things that I've been looking at lately, and it seems to be that there's a lot of people out there that are almost like zoning in on one part of phenomena, and there seems to be like a bit of a link forming up. So I'm specifically talking about people like Eric von Denken. He's got quite a good interpretation when it comes to Ezekiel's encounters with all like the Anunnaki and stuff, what's been happening. So if I have a look at this bit just there, like, so you get like the Sumerian civilization, where it's like believed to be 6,000 years old. Personally think that they might have got the timeline wrong with that. When you look at things like what are being discovered now with like Göbekli Tepe, I can never pronounce that properly, being carbon dated to 12,000 years old, and then you've got like things on the Sphinx, like with the water erosion being 12,000 years old, it kind of changes the timeline a bit.
Yeah.
Just looking through my notes here. So when you see like the tablets for the Sumerians, the kings mainly, and the lifespans being up to 30,000 years old, I actually think they could be talking about the Anunnaki in particular. So if you can imagine like an ancient civilization where more or less hunter-gatherers, and then the Anunnaki is coming down and giving technology, like teaching them what they need to know. And then if you look at like what Eric's saying about all holy books tend to have like a mass extinction. Just move the cat. So like a mass extinction event happening at the same time. And then you look at people like Graham Hancock, who's also doing work in Göbekli Tepe, and Cal Randus, who's got like a pretty good geo map going on of impacts from meteors and stuff. And then in these holy books, doesn't matter which one you're looking at, they all talk about a war in the heavens, just before like this great big flood or mass extinction happens. And Randall's gone and like found evidence of like a huge amount of like impacts hitting the earth on these ice sheets, which are releasing floods, and even goes into detail talking about like the scab lands where icebergs have been pulled through. What I'm pretty much thinking what could be going on at the moment is, let me just read what I've got here. So with Eric and his interpretation of the encounters of Ezekiel's with the spacecraft, the Anunnaki, combined with the tablets showing Sumerian kings that lived for 30,000 years, which ended in a war. So they all talk about this holy war. And it all seems to be pointing up towards the Younger Dryas area. On a, which worship together could be so the Sphinx being dated, Graham Hancock is a push the advantage, Randall Kelson. Yeah, so where he goes on about like Ezekiel and Anumu, I think his name is, being took up onto the spacecraft and being taught all these technologies, and then them having this big fight going on. All these craft coming down could be those comet impacts, which Randall Carlson is like mapping out, which would have caused this great flood to happen, and then like a big reset would have happened, and then like we wouldn't have had any interaction for quite some time, and then all this later interaction that's going on is like new species and stuff that are coming across us.
Yeah.
Kind of thinking something's going on there.
Well, what do you think it is?
So it's like, I don't know whether I buy into the idea of if the and I can never pronounce her name properly, that Anunnaki deliberately gene spliced or put us here to like find gold or things like that and mine them for them, or whether we were just an experiment. And like in all these holy books, they talk about how one half wanted us to like thrive and the other half didn't want us to thrive, which is causing this war.
Yeah. So do you reckon? Do you think? I know we spoke about it at work, and what have you, but do you think that they created us to mine the gold? Are you not convinced on that?
No, I'm not convinced that they created us to mine anything.
Well, to mine precious metals, it wasn't just gold; it was all sorts, wasn't it? What made
Like, if they've got the technology to create us, they've got the technology to pull it out of the ground or whatever they're after themselves. But then they could have just been lazy and wanted us to do it for them. I'm not too sure. I need to keep digging around on that bit.
Yeah. So what's your overall take on this?
My overall take is that if you was to readjust Eric von Denkins, if that's how you pronounce his last name.
Dakin.
Yeah. If you was to adjust his timeline to fit the archaeology that's coming out at the moment with the like Göbekli Tepe and places like that, even the Amazon, like they're using LiDAR and stuff and discovering that there's like ancient ruins there from way past 10,000 years ago. Even like when it involves Atlantis. If you was to take his accounts and stretch that along what Graham Hancock and Carol Randall have done, it all starts to fit. It fits quite nicely together.
Right.
So there was in my mind, there was something that come when we were like the hunter-gatherer stage.
Yeah.
And they did something to us. And this could also involve like cryptids being put around like the planet. They gave us technology, whatnot. They allowed us to build and wanted us to build other bits and bobs, which we went and done. And then, like what Eric says, some of them wanted to do other things with us, like what wasn't obviously very good with us. So that's the name, Joe. Thanks. Some of them,
Danikon, it's pronounced.
Danikon. I can never pronounce his last name. So some of them wanted to like for us just to live normally. Obviously, if we were mine. Other ones wanted to actually do like bad things with us. They wanted to take wives. They wanted to interbreed, everything like that, which wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And then this big fight happened, and as it says in that Zeke's account, you could literally see from the heavens or from the highest, as Eric says, things falling down from the sky, like loads and loads of things. which could link with Carl Anderson's map, what he's putting down, which caused a massive flood when they start talking about like arcs and stuff that had happened afterwards.
Yeah. So, do you think that this is why stuff is still going on, where these, whether ETs or entities or whatever you want to call them, are still coming down and playing with us?
Yeah, I think these are just completely different, like species. What we're seeing now, I think they're interested in what has happened, and they're just also having a bit of fun, like seeing what they can do, seeing what they can get out of it. I don't think they're particularly linked together. I think the Anunnaki was a very ancient race. They've gone and done whatever they wanted to do and gone off to wherever they needed to go. I think like there's been a lot of little Trojan horses that have happened, like certain crashes. I think a lot of stuff that Bob Lazar has come out with, what has been proven true, links onto that. Yeah.
So, I had a question there. It's gone. Let's see if I can remember it. So, these things, like these entities and that, do you think that if we was created by these, that all some of these other humanoid type species, do you think they was left on this planet, and then that's why we're seeing them, or was they created before us, or after us, or at the same time, and this is their home as much as it is ours, but there's not as many of them, and they have different abilities than what we do?
I think we're an end result of trial and error. I think a lot
we're
of
the final. We're
yeah,
the final making.
we are the final makings of what the Anunnaki wanted. I like how much detail Eric goes into when he talks about the accounts of Ezek, where even down to when he was took on board, and they said cities. They didn't know anything else because they didn't have any words for gods or heavens or anything. When they were took on these cities, that we smelled, you know, and it had to be rubbed down in something.
Oh, I remember saying.
So, like, and these are in recordings. They're not like just someone made up. So if he's recording this, how would somebody back then, and where I'm saying over 12,000 years ago, know about like germs and stuff? Like clearly, whoever took him onto a craft was disinfecting him, for sake of a better word. Like I think we were the final experiment that worked almost. And then when this war broke out and everything was flooded, they just left. You know, it's like, oh, it's all done and dusted. We've screwed up what we needed to do. We've got what we wanted anyway, so we've left. And then since then, there's other species out there that have then discovered us and like just done their own little thing.
Okay, next question. So we was created by these other beings.
Yep.
Was we only created on this planet or this plane, or do you think there are others the same as us, humans, whatever you want to call us, that are on other planets or other dimensions? What I don't know, because I don't know how they travel. I don't know how they get out. So let's say on a different planet, if they travel the same way that we do.
Yeah, you see, I put some thought into this. If they've done it here, why wouldn't they do it somewhere else? And all these other species are their creations.
Well, that's what I was thinking as you was telling me that. Then, why would it not be possible or feasible for them to do? Well, they've gone. Oh, we've created these. This is the last batch, whatever you want to call us. These are the final makings. Let's make some more, but we'll put them over here, and we'll put some more over there. We'll scatter them out in different places, and let's see what.
Would you say
how they evolve or advance without
Would you
any.
say it would be easier to create a new species on a planet rather than move a workforce from one planet to another?
Well, that's what I mean. So they created us. So they
Mhm.
don't know. Well, you got really big hands, and there's loads of them stood in their hands. It's like, right, we've created these. We'll put some here, and we'll put some over there, and we'll stick some over there, and we'll scatter them about. Let's see how they work, what goes on, who advance quicker than the others, if they all go at the same time. Do you think that's a possible?
Yeah, I do. I do think it's possible. When you hear of like, you ever heard of like the Council of Five and stuff
Yeah.
like that? Yeah, yeah. So like, maybe that Council of Five are descendants of the Anunnaki, and
Yeah.
everyone else is just the little players what they've created. Like they're the ones that are dictating what's going on in the cosmos or our universe.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just putting this up from Rick because it's relevant to what you're saying. We have got 3 more questions that we need to go back to before we finish, but we've still got 40 minutes. So it's all
Okay, so what do you think the aliens want, Nathan? I think they're just having fun. I don't think there's particularly malicious or malevolent. I just think they're doing their own little thing, and it's the same as when we take a fish out of the water to have a look at it and put it back in. I don't think there's anything more into it. The
Joe,
Nephilim.
what about the Nephilim?
I don't know what that is.
They were the giants. I suppose.
The giants. I even think.
These are the ones that I might be wrong on this. God, so much trying to remember, and I can't remember anything. Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, or anyone else, but the Nephilim, weren't they the ones that created us to become their slaves on Earth? And I was working and mining and building, doing all the dirty work. I might be wrong on that. I don't know.
Maybe they were just another form of us.
You think?
Yeah, maybe. Same as you get the bigger work, the work ants, and you get the soldier ants. Maybe it's the same sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, the Nephilim bred with a human woman. Right. And then that created us.
So, are you on about an extraterrestrial race there? Because there's a few accounts which I've looked into of like abductees from when they were very young up until they're an adult, to the point of where they'd be constantly abducted, and they would grow up with meeting another like extraterrestrial. Eventually, they would be bred with the terrestrial, and they've even met their own daughters and stuff. For say.
Yeah. So I've never read the Bible because I'm not religious at all. So
I've only read parts of it just because
I
of
know
what
of
I'm trying to work out.
I know of it from school, but I never
Mm.
not interested then, and I'm still not interested now. I'm not being thingy to anyone that is religious. It's just not my thing. So when people are saying, like Joe's put, referenced in Genesis and he's cool. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Mm-hmm.
I know one's a book from the Bible, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. The only story I know from the Bible is a Good Samaritan. That's it. The end. I know nothing else. So sorry, guys. Right. So just going off topic for that for 1 minute. We've got 2 questions here. So the first one is from Richard Crooks. Crooks, what is your thought on the Mandela effect? Now I love this. I love all the theories and everything that goes with this.
Go for it. Jump on it.
So have you know what the Mandela effect is, don't you?
No,
So,
I don't think so.
it stems from Nelson Mandela in, I think it was 1986, 87, dying in prison. Yeah.
Yep.
But then he died again in the early 2000s. Like 2000. Oh, no. I think, no, early. It was about 2013, 2014. I'm guessing on the years. But it was this. So this is why it's called the Mandela effect. So something happened, but then it didn't happen, and there's either a time slip or a dimensional shift, and then that thing hadn't happened, and it's happened again. Yeah. So the first time round, some people remember him dying in the 80s. Some remember him dying in the early 2000s. Now I remember him dying in prison in the 80s. I remember it being on the news. I remember chatting to my mates at school about it. And then it wasn't long since I moved down here. I was living in Milton Keynes. It came up on the telly, and I'm like, he died like 20 years, nearly 20 years ago. But he hadn't. And then you've got things like, a lot of it is script in films where Darth Vader Luke, no, not Darth Vader. Yeah, Darth Vader says to Luke Skywalker, Luke, I'm your father. But apparently he says, no, I'm your father. And it's just little lines like that. And there's other stuff. And there's one of the Disney movies with the mirror on the wall. I can't remember which one that's out of. It's just different little things like that. I was just about to say this one. C.O.T.U in, I think it's Empire Strikes Back. He had a silver leg. So he was all gold, but one of his legs was silver. But then it wasn't. It was gold. And then you've got the Bernstein Bears. Now, I don't even know what these are. Don't remember it. Don't remember the tune, nothing. But the lyrics in that changed. But this Mandela effect, this theory's now saying it could be connected to deja vu.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you remember so you'll be walking down the street. It's like, oh, I've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you might have it again, but it's slightly different. So you've got that, but then you've also got the one where it's a time shift or dimensional drift or whatever you want to call
See,
it.
I've always been a bit curious about deja vu itself.
Yeah.
If you're on about time slips and stuff like that with this Mandela effect, I don't know too much about the Mandela effect, but it sounds
That's basically
I could buy that.
It's where something's happened, you remember it clear as day that's happened in that way at that time, but then it happens again, but then there is no evidence of it happening the first time round. It's like with the Kit Kat packets as well. There's a little hyphen between it, but if you look at them now, they're not. And apparently, whoever makes Kit Kat, Cadbury, Nestle, or whoever, have said that there was never a hyphen between it. It was always just Kit Kat. But people remember that hyphen being there. Just a little thing like that.
You know the Men in Black little wand?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
But then some people remember it being one way, other people remember it being the other way, and everyone will swear blind that it was that. And the other side are going, no, it was that. So is that a dimensional shift? A glitch in the matrix?
Maybe it's parallel universes crossing.
They reset knowledge, remove it completely. So have they completely wiped it? And if they can completely wipe it like that, then are we living in a simulation? Because that is the only way that it makes sense.
I could totally buy the simulation theory.
Are we all plugged into some giant multi-farming device where, like in the Matrix, I don't know. There's just so much to think about. It's unbelievable. So yeah, Looney Tunes. So Blue Shifters put this. Now I remember it being Toons, TOONS. Yeah, like
Yeah.
in the 70s and 80s. But now, when I do like watching cartoons, so watching Nickelodeon and all that, and Bugs Bunny comes up, it's Tunes, TUN. But it used to be TOO, but they're saying it never was.
I always knew it as TOO.
Yeah, but if you look at it now, it's TU. And where's that one? Blue Shifters put John Deere, DWR or DAR. So we go past that on the A14. That's if he's on about the agricultural company, it's DWR. I've never seen it. Isn't it DWRE?
No, it's DWR. John Deere.
Right. Yeah. Stuart just put tunes as in cartoons. Yeah, because that was what it was abbreviated for. Not tunes as in music. All very, very odd. Right. Yeah, I've got one more question. Completely irrelevant to everything else that we've been talking about, but this is from my cousin. What do you both think about the sky trumpets?
What's a sky trumpet?
Right. So have you never heard? There's a lot of videos on YouTube. There's loads on the internet. It's like a loud. Imagine a trumpet in the sky
Yeah.
being blown, but you can hear it everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the sky trumpet is. It's like someone blowing a trumpet, but either really loud or really big.
Never heard of it before.
Have
And
you not?
never heard it, no.
Have you heard the one where sky whales?
No, not sky
And
whales.
these are like these big like creatures that live in the sky that move around. There's all different shapes and sizes. They have they look organic, but you can see they've got the mechanical as well. And they've got lights in them, and sometimes they can be seen and they can't. And they're all like, I suppose they attack each other to like eat each other to stay alive and what have you. Now there is a theory that these sky whales are the ones that make these noises, and every so often that's what you can hear.
Never heard of it before. Also, Daryl's just said there isn't E on the end of John Deere.
There is.
Yeah, see, I knew it as DEER, not DEERE or DEAR.
No, I know it's DWRE. I only know because I used to deliver to one of their sites. Joe's put listen to the bloop. I don't know what the bloop is. Please tell us more. Ancient runes got sky trumpets and movements of craft lining up, which it could be.
Space get like in ancient Egypt, certain herbal remedies, medicines had to be taken in accordance with planetary alignments. You see, I've looked into some of those remedies and stuff. Like a lot of people were saying about DMT helping you connect to like different beings. Like Hancock goes on about a fair few of them. And a lot of people reporting the same sort of things after they've had this so-called breakthrough, where they'll sit there and they'll actually connect to the same entities. So somebody like in Brazil can connect to the same person, and somebody in like England, they'll see the same person and the same entities. And they all start talking about the yellows.
I'll have to see. I'm going to look at these loop things. Right, I'm just going to write it down because I'll forget.
Either way, there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment. A lot more people are waking up to this. I think
Yeah.
a lot more people are very open-minded, which just puts more positive energy out there.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Anyone else got any more questions? Yeah, I know. I've got loads to do this weekend now. But yeah, look on Sky Whales. The people that talk about it can explain it a lot better than I can. I know, I've just got on the page now. Right, so where are we investigating next? It is Kingsthorpe Cemetery.
Yeah, we've got Kingsthorpe next, and then we're at the house dwelling.
Yeah.
After that.
If you give me a minute.
Okay, there's somebody in the chat.
Yeah,
I have done DMT over 100 times, and twice it has not the holy grail people think, but it is an interesting one for sure. Okay.
Why have I not? Wait. Sorry, I'm just looking for a picture. Come on. Sorry, bear with me. My computer's froze.
Perfect timing. I'm itching to get back out there though, get some more live investigations going on, bring some decent content.
So,
see what we can find.
Yeah, Kingsthorpe Cemetery. We've had quite a lot of interaction when we've been there. There are war graves, which is the best kept part of the cemetery. And Richard the Red will tell you, we've been walking down there. There's no branches, there's nothing on the floor. It's just nice to cut grass. I'll be walking, and you can hear someone walking inside you, like they're walking on gravel or twigs. I've had someone breathing down my ear, whistling, whispering, all sorts. EMF readers going off, like, don't know, it's like crazy. We've seen things there. We've seen moving figures. We had a howling scream. That was the first time we went, and I just finished recording, doing the live stream. As soon as we turned it off, it was the worst scream I've ever heard in my life. We just got out of there. We couldn't see anything. Right, so I was just thinking then. Yeah, so we're going there, but at the bottom of the cemetery, near where the houses are, there's like these big, don't know what you call them, like over the ground tombs, but they're double. So you'd have one body that side and another body in it that side. Then opposite that, it looks like a garage front, and then basically people had slid inside it, and it's got a headstone, and then the body's in it. And it's just like a big shed. It's about 5 of it. It's very strange. Pentrich incident. Asking, can someone tell me who or what shadow people are? But we've already done that, didn't we?
Yeah. Basically, just entities that seem to appear in like either a greyish, wavy form or a solid form, and just walk straight past you. They don't acknowledge you. They just keep doing what they want to do.
Yeah,
that's pretty much sums them up. But you'll know when you see them.
Okay. Sorry, they weren't here when we was talking about it.
No, that's fine.
You're not allowed to go off. You've got to stay and wait to the end. Can't dip in and out.
I think shadow people are quite common though. I think a lot of people see what they think they see as a normal ghost, and actually tends to be a shadow person.
Oh, right. Question for you. Have
Mhm.
you, Nathan, or anyone of the viewers seen a shadow person outside, like out and about during
No.
the day?
No.
Or it always seems to be inside the house. I know we picked that one up on video in the cemetery, and it could have been, and it couldn't have been me or the other two people that were there. But most stories of shadow people are always indoors.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just wondering, has
So
anybody experienced anything outside?
well, he's saying he's had trouble with them in St. Anton. What trouble did you have? See, I've only ever seen them at night, and
Yeah.
I've only ever seen it inside of a building. I've never seen it outside.
The Brillo man is bad with friend. Brillo man.
Never heard of Brillo man.
Well, I was listening to that side of it. Was only a little bit. It was like an hour's worth of podcast. Were they the ones that were walking through the metal gates that looked like Men in Black, the Brillo men, or is that something else?
No idea. The RAF had trouble with them at the base.
Shadow people.
What do you mean by that?
So I'm guessing the RAF, they was getting a lot of these shadow people turning up at the base.
Did
Then it
anyone
like
hear that
just a group
voice?
of people turning up causing mischief. I meant like just fade to black podcast. I've got so much to do this week. Don't write it down now, I will forget. Cheers, Lottie.
A few of you have been hearing voices. What have you been hearing?
Who's that?
We've got Rick and Panchi, yeah, Incident are hearing voices.
Pentrich.
I'm really bad at pronunciation.
Yeah, for some reason, this feedback in where Nathan is, it did stop before, but it seems to have come back. That feedback's come back, Nathan.
Is it the feedback?
Yeah. But I don't know why, because there's nothing on.
No.
Have you got anything running in the background at all?
Nothing at all.
Anything electrical?
No. Apart from a lamp.
No. Where's your phone? Have you got your phone there?
My phone's just over there.
Right. Sometimes if that's near a speaker, it'll pick it up.
Sounds like a fan. That could be my PC fan, maybe.
No, it's when I talk, it's like a crackly version of my voice in the background.
I think I'll end up picking up a new mic for this setup, so everything sounds a bit clearer anyway.
Yeah, that's what I had to do. Condenser mic are the best ones to get. I film UFOs. He had his experience in a tent. I suppose that does count as indoor. I would like to have an experience in a tent because look at the Dolotov Pass, the experience they had. None of them got out of that.
The only
that's the
experience
last place.
you'd want in the tent is Brokeback Mountain, Andy.
I won't want anything in the tent. I'll go to sleep. I'm completely ignoring that. But go to sleep, wake up, and then go out exploring.
If you are hearing background noises, it's not ghosts. It's just Daryl getting some snacks.
Sorry.
I'll let you off.
She picked up a pack of walkers and just went woo in front of the camera. That'd been brilliant.
I'm trying to be really quiet.
That would have got the views going.
Right. Anyone else? Any questions? I think we may be done for tonight.
Hi. Rick's good to talk to. He knows his stuff.
Can I just show you my mic stand? I think this is really impressive. While we're talking about, so that's a mic that I've got. That's my microphone stand, which is actually a ghost tea light candle oil burner. So I've just put the wire under there, a bit of blue tack holding it on. Ghost mic. Better than the stand that I got with it, I know that.
Show me. I don't have a dog. I've got a cat. It's not even our cat. It's like a neighbour's cat that lives here. Never goes home.
Get your mic stand out for the lads. Oh, Rick, I have read your email that you sent me last week. I do mean I was going to reply this weekend, but what you said to me sounds great. I will email you back and let you know exactly what I think, rather than doing it all on air, and then we can go from there with it. So,
and I'll give you
bear
a
with
phone
me.
call.
I've just got loads of stuff going on at the moment.
I'll give you a phone call sometime tomorrow, Rick.
Are we done?
I think so.
I think that's it for tonight.
Well, I'm out of rum, so I'm definitely done.
I'm out of voice. I am. Yeah, that's it. So next week we have Stephen Myers on, who is the guy that wrote the books on how the pyramids were built. So it's going to take me a week to go through. Well, I wrote like 5 things down. It'll take me about 10 days to do it all. Yeah, so we've got Steve Myers on next week. Week after, we've got Jay Austin. Then week after that is Kingsford Cemetery, our first live investigation. Then that Wednesday is the decode. That's the last time we're doing the decode on a Wednesday. After that, it's going to be the first Friday of each month. Then we're doing the haunted house. That's going to be a late time. That's going to be 10 till 12. Then we've got Steve Ward on the 22nd. I'm still not sure if we're going to be doing anything on the 15th because it's Good Friday. So I'm still umming and ahhing whether we're going to be doing a live stream on that day or not. So I'll let you know in about 3 weeks' time about that one. But yeah, so a massive thank you for everyone coming on.
Yeah,
Great.
huge thank you.
Yeah, great chat again as always. Thanks for all the questions. And I'm glad that we covered a different topic as well, because it was a different type of questions. Because it just seems to have been the last few weeks, we've had this similar sort of, not similar guests, but what they cover has been very. We've been doing a lot of like UFO stuff. I found UFO or ghosts the last couple of weeks. I know we've been talking about that tonight, but we've varied it a bit, and the questions have been really good tonight. So a massive thank you to you all. Thank you to Joe for moderating. Thank you to all the new viewers and subscribers for coming on every Friday. Who's ignoring you? Yes, I can see it, but I can't see what you're writing while I'm talking because I'll keep reading that out. What's Joe saying? Get some chatters on a panel. Well, you're going to be on next, Joe, anyway. So we're going to do. I think if anyone's up for it, the decode on the 6th of April would like another 3 people that want to come on. So there'll be me, Nathan, Deborah, and then 3 more. So if you do want to come on and do a panel one, can you please go to the website and go into the contact us and fill in the form, and then we can go from there. Yes, Joe. But you still need to fill the form in, then know who's going to be coming on. So need 2 more people. If Joe's definitely going to come on, then we need 2 more people. So, and then we can talk about everything that you want to talk about. We can ask you questions. We can even do a phone in if you want. I was going to do that tonight, but I forgot to charge that other phone. Sorry. It's basically that, like, but I swear too much. Has anyone heard Joe talk? Every other word, I'm telling you.
Trust the
I'm
amount
not
of
even-
suppression I have to go through to keep it clean on a live stream is ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm not even over exaggerating how much Joe swears. It's awful. I mean, really, I've never heard anyone swear like that in my life. Yeah, I have to suppress it. It's killing. Right, so that is definitely it. So 2 more people, if you want to come on, go on the website, go to submissions form on contact us, and then we'll go from there. So that is on the 6th. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. Also, oh no, it's all right because they're both not in the chat tonight anyway. I know one's gone on holiday. We're going to be doing the Sky Watch over in the Whipsnade Zoo. Hopefully, that's going to be the last weekend, last Friday in April.
Yeah.
I just need to contact him. So yeah, massive thank you to everyone, and we will see you all. When will it be, Nate?
Next one, 8th.
Yes. So see ya and take care.
See you later, guys.
See you in a bit.